I'm Denyse with Artist Heart Paint Party. You have to customize it. Make something that you like. Make it personal to you. However that is. Oh! That's so cute! I love his little hat. You could be painting your bunny in. So this is a pretty spring bunny, and I think that nice, lighter, softer colors look really nice for spring pastel. Big or as small as you want it.
Hey, Nisi.
Hey, Rach.
Can you slow down a little bit?
Sure thing. Actually, I thought it was almost looking like a butterfly, but I thought it would be cool, and I had an apple today, so I saved the core.
That's great.
I wasn't sure if it would work or not, but I thought I'd give it a try.
Yeah, I really like that you're reusing the material that might not seem to have a purpose. It might have otherwise been thrown out.
Right. Well, hi, you guys. I'm Denyse with Artist at Heart, and I have a special guest today, and I'm super excited to talk about you guys reading more books, okay? And I want to bring on Chante Thomas, who just launched her book on Amazon. All right, here comes Chante. Hi, Chante.
Hi, Denyse. How are you?
Hello. I'm great. How are you?
Terrific. I am just great. Thank you for asking. And thank you for having me here.
Oh my gosh, I'm super excited for you. You guys, for those of you that don't know, I am in Cleveland, Ohio, and Chante is also local and an educator in a local school system. And she's also an author and a mother. And I follow you on Facebook. So I was able to see that you launched this book, and I'm really excited for you. And I thought you could tell us a little bit about it.
My pleasure, of course. Again, Denyse and I, we met. Denyse did a party for me where we created wine glasses, and we painted them, and it was so therapeutic. It was at a time where all of my friends came together, and we really needed that healing activity. And I just love you. I love your creativity. I follow you, and I see all these amazing things that you do. And I'm just thrilled that I am also able to show some of my creativity through stories and through reading. So.
Is that me or you? One of us is dinging.
Well, someone's telling me they can't get access, so I don't know how to answer them right now because we're live. And so I'm going to just say go to Facebook.
You guys, we're live right now on Amazon and on Facebook. So I'm Artist at Heart Paint Party on Facebook, and you can find me under Artist at Heart Paint Party or Denyse Teaches Art on Amazon. The link, Chantel, did you text it to me or message me? You guys, we're so high tech here. We were saying as educators, we've come a long way in this technology world in the last year plus, but it doesn't mean we're still not challenged, right? We're always constantly learning. So, yeah. So, and just so you know, I have, so hopefully, again, this is going to be live and it's going to be recorded, and we're going to do it again because we want everyone to see your book. So, sure.
So I will tell you, so I was just saying that I write, and it is the thing that brings me just so much joy. And this book, the one that you actually saw, it's called Sean and the Book Cures. And so my backstory is that I am a teacher, and I've taught for, this is now beginning my 27th year. And wow. When you start every year and you talk to kids and you tell them things about yourself, I used to say, oh, and I've written books. And I had written books that were in my files waiting for me to publish one day. And so I have two other books. I'm going to just show you just because they're
I'm trying to make you big. Hold on. Give me one sec. Okay, this is where I get challenged. I'm like, I want to make you big. All right, hold on.
okay. So my first book was Where I'm From. And this book, again, many people that know me, they might have recognized some of the characters, like it was loosely based on people that I knew. And so then, of course, I wrote my second book, Go to School Tommy, again, loosely based on people that I have met. So I try to tell these stories. So if you know me, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, is she about to put me in her next book? So this book, Sean and the Book Cures, my oldest son, his name is Sean. And so he would watch me. This book, it's been a labor of love for probably the past year. And he would see the name and he was like, are you writing a book about me? And I said, no. And so I would try to read things to him just to get his thoughts. And he would not, he didn't show a lot of interest because this character, Sean, his superpower is reading. He loves everything about books, the way they feel, the way they smell, the stories they tell, the facts they hold. And, my Sean, as I wrote this book, is not a fan of reading fiction stories. Like he likes facts and stuff, encyclopedias and things like that. So I said, well, Sean, is this you? Do you like to read? And I sent Denyse a picture of him actually reading this book, and he cannot put it down. So we laugh all the time because he reads this and he's like, when he saw the proof, he said, well, I think this is about me, Mom, because look, I'm really curious. Mom, I'm a researcher. Mom, I like to run. So this character is a 9-10-year-old boy who is just really coming into terms about who he is. He's discovering he's got some other talents, but he really gets caught up in this world of COVID. And so then his life changes. And so this is the story of, it's almost going to be like an artifact because, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, people are going to be like, what was COVID? Did it happen? Well, right now we're still living it. So he tells his experience and he makes a decision to use his superpower to do something. And I don't want to tell you anymore, but I would love, Denyse, if it's okay, can I read just the beginning?
Oh my gosh. Yes, I would love, and I'm trying to figure out, this is what all right, I told you, there, look at all these fancy little doodahs. I would love for you to, and I'm trying to make you, but you don't mind being on the screen alone?
No, it's okay. I mean, I did feel lonely. I was like, where are you? But it's okay.
I really want you, there's a way to make you big and me small. And this is, again, where my nephew, when he helps me, he can do it. These kids can do everything today. You know what I mean? But I don't know how he did it. And now, these kids get so big and then they have jobs, like real jobs that pay.
I'm going to have to get Sean on my payroll because he
yes, I'm going to put you big and I'm going to let you read. I would love for that. I think they would too.
Okay, good. So this is Sean and the Book Cures. And so I'm going to just begin by just sharing this sort of inside cover. As long as Sean could remember, he loved books, which I just told you. He loved the smell of them, the feel of them, the words inside of them, the pictures and stories they tell. As Sean grew older, he would help others with facts he learned from his books. Little did he know where his reading journey would take him. And I am going to introduce you to Sean. There he is. My name is Sean Jackson Walter Smith, and I love to read. Some might say reading is not cool and definitely not fun. But for me, I've loved books ever since age 1. I've always loved books, big ones, little ones, soft ones, hard ones, noisy books, pop-up books, and encyclopedias too. I even love mysteries when they give good clues. Sean has, he wants to introduce how he learns his name. I'm skipping a few pages because I want you to buy the book, but I want you to see, this is an adorable picture of Sean and his grandfather. And then this is a picture of Sean at school. Don't you love these faces? I mean, I'm so excited about this book. So I'm going to read 2 more pages. Do you think names are important? I really do. Here are some facts I'd like to share with you. My mother named me Sean because it rhymes with mom. She added Jackson because I was full of action. Then there is Walter, a perfect name for her son, especially since I have been reading since age 1. This was also my grandpa's name, which makes me so glad. Papa was the best grandpa anyone could ever have. My grandpa would read to me every night. This time with him always felt just right. So, for all these reasons, I became a really good reader, and soon I had facts that could help my teachers. Reading became my superpower, and I became a problem solver. When we were discussing Triceratops in class, my friend Margot had a question to ask. She couldn't pronounce this tricky name. How do you say it? She'd ask me again. It sounds like this, Triceratop, and then I added a yelp and a hop. So this kiddo, I mean, this book is just so full of fun illustrations, and it just tells his story through this, fourth grade, fifth grade year. But again, we do get interrupted by this COVID-19 pandemic, and what happens, and how does he respond? How does his mom respond? And so we learn a few things, and we see his courage, the courage that's within all of us to see something and say, how can I make a difference? And we make differences through easy ways, like read the book, or we make a difference by becoming more involved. And so that's what I really want to encourage you to do, is read the book, be reminded of what this time was like. I mean, this virus is still here, as we talk about the variant. And I mean, maybe it's a way to, help people not be so scared, because there's such a, we know that we can get out of this. And that's really, kind of the story about my books. And I try to write books that are encouraging and that hopefully kids can see themselves pictured in the stories.
I love that. I think it's beautiful. And I think it brings so much comfort, knowing that so many other people feel that way. You're all these different emotions we felt over the last year and a half, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, it's okay, whatever you're feeling. Today you could be happy, and tomorrow you could be angry, and then confused, sad. And I think as adults, we're feeling that. Imagine the kids. I don't really even think they understand, this is going down in history, just like it's just interesting, because I do always remember my grandmother talking about the flu, and my grandmother was the only one in her entire family that survived that Spanish flu in the early 1900s. And this, not that I don't know anything about COVID, other than it reminds me of that scary unknown situation,
Correct. And here's the thing, we're about to pivot again, right? I mean, we hit that moment of freedom where they said, okay, you can take your mask off, and look, we're back. So I think even with that brings out a few more uncomfortable feelings. So it's nice to be able to, when I was little, I would always just curl up with the Judy Blume book and just, relate to a character and go, oh, okay, she's going through that. I get it. Maybe okay, I'm going through it too. So I just hope that this can be a book that, youngsters will just curl up with, and parents and grandparents, and we can all just use, some of Sean's experiences to help everyone just feel a little bit more comfortable and more settled. So
I love that. And I have to tell you, I read Judy Blume as well. And I'm just going to say that when I started teaching in Cleveland, so I was a Cleveland teacher for 20 years, I really never thought about diversity in books.
Yeah.
And until the teachers were like, these kids need to see books that are diverse. And, so as much as I love Judy Blume, again, that's what we grew up with, right? It was not diverse. There was no diversity growing up. And so I love, again, you're showing diversity in your books, and to little boys. And again, they can see themselves in the pages of a beautifully illustrated, bright, fun book. I thought I actually wore this shirt to match your book. I was like, I love that. It's so colorful.
Thank you. It is. It's a fun book. I mean, my illustrator and I, with intention, we knew that we didn't want what could be considered a darker topic to feel dark. So we wanted it to feel just so bright and so fun and just be a favorite. But you're so right. Like my stories, and this is, I think, my gift to people who read my stories. Like when I go somewhere with this one, it doesn't matter who it is. Someone goes, "Is that me?" Like they look at these pictures and they go, "Is that me?" And and I'm like, it is you, absolutely. So a lot of times, like when I share this one, people are like, "Oh, I want a boy book." Like there's this niche, right? Do we want a boy book, a girl book, a book of people about color, families, just whatever we're going through? And so, I just want to kick in there and find that and just sell as many books as I can. So please, please, please support this book. I have more stories to tell. I really, I feel like I'm introducing Sean because we have some more adventures that we really want to share with everyone. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
And I don't know if you can see it, but the cover of today's, I have Sean's picture on there next to the book. And when this is done being recorded, you can go back into Amazon. So the cover of today has his photo on there holding the book, reading it. And then I added your other books from So as we're live, there's a carousel below, and the carousel has the items. And I just want to make sure. So you have 3 books now on Amazon.
I do. Yep. And you can either Google them by my name, Chante Thomas, or you actually, not Google, but you can search by my name or by the book title.
Okay, that's awesome. And I'm so excited. I'm just looking to make sure that if anybody wants to say hi, if you guys have questions, you can type in a message. I'm watching on my phone because I'm multitasking here. So I have you guys on the computer, but I can see the comments. I posted ChanteThomasBooks.com in the chat, as well as on Facebook. And then we have a carousel on Amazon. So in your carousel, I have the 3 books on Amazon. You guys can purchase from there as well. And so I totally agree with you. And I think at this point, we've all become resilient and we just none of us know, right? So we just go with the flow, read. I say use it or lose it. So read. And I bet you know this. Kids lose their reading levels over this, probably adults too, but don't they drastically drop if they're not reading over the summer?
Well, there's definitely like a summer, like a summer drain or however we call it. But yeah, and this is why so many, my son has a book list, even though I told you he doesn't like to read. So we haven't gotten started with that yet, but they go back in 2 weeks. So we're going to have to work on that. But yes, reading, I mean, just the exposure to words and the creativity, the imagination and interacting with text is so, so very important. And so I think that we can close that gap by giving kids more and more stories that are of interest to them. And what I have discovered, which is the power of a good teacher, is like when they have those books in their arsenal and they can find that reluctant kid and say, look, try this story. It just takes one good book to get them going. And then they want more and more and more. But yes, we need to read, and families need to read, and parents need to read. We all lose these skills if we don't use it.
I'll say this also. My aunt is in a senior living facility, and during COVID, she used to watch TV all the time. But again, then it made her nervous with all this information from COVID. So one of the people that work there bring her books all the time. And my aunt hasn't read, like books. She would read like the National Enquirer or the People magazine, but not like a book. And she's like, oh, I just read Little Fires Everywhere. And I'm telling you, I can see a difference in her cognitive ability. Like she's remembering things more, and I'm like, wow, keep giving her books. And she's really enjoying it. She's like, I can't watch TV anymore. So I know it's just, so it doesn't really matter. I shouldn't say just for kids. It's for all ages, right? That just keeps you sharp.
You have to read. You have to connect, you have to interact. You have to say, what did we learn from this? How do we feel about this? So, oh yeah. Thank you for just telling those stories, because you're right. Reading is so important for everyone. forever.
Yes, I agree. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your books with us. We're really excited. You guys go check those books out and add to your library at home and share them. They're great gifts too. What a great gift to send to somebody. So,
And can I just offer one more thing?
absolutely.
There is an amazing event in Cleveland, and it's called Author Alley. And it's held at Loganberry Books. Loganberry is an independent bookstore. It's an amazing bookstore. You know, like my character Sean, he just loves the feel and smell of books. I mean, when you walk into Loganberry, they're from the floor to the ceiling. And so they actually invite, I don't know, I'm going to say 30 authors who come, and we fill the corners in the alley of this store. And we're there with our books and we're signing them. And, you know, it's just such a great, great, great event for families and adults and grandparents and whoever. So if anyone is local and you're interested, please come to Loganberry Books on next Saturday, August the 7th. From 12 to 4. And Loganberry is on Larchmere Boulevard in Shaker Heights, 13015 Larchmere Boulevard. And I'll be there.
How fun is that? That is a great, I can't believe it's going to be August. I'm still like, what? August what? Like,
I know.
so that's excellent. And again, we can post more information. If you give it to me, we can add it here somewhere, and we can do this again another day also. So thanks so much for sharing your time and knowledge with us, and we'll see you again.
All right, great. Thank you.
Happy summer, you guys. Enjoy the last days of July.
Okay, you too. You too.
Bye.
Bye.